Today, I'm exploring the coldest city on Earth, where minus 70 degrees Celsius is totally normal. Buildings stand on stilts, and people's eyelashes freeze in seconds. Think you could handle that? Let's find out how these folks survive such extreme conditions and still live their best lives. Yakutsk, the capital of Russia's Sakha Republic, is famous for being the coldest major city in the world. It's located about 450 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle and has hit record lows of negative 64.4 degrees Celsius or negative 83.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Around 355,000 people call this place home. You'll find it near the Lena River, built on top of continuous permafrost, which forces engineers to raise buildings on stilts so they don't heat up the frozen ground beneath them. The extreme cold here makes daily life a constant struggle, especially when it comes to staying warm. People need powerful heating systems to survive. Traditional central heating isn't always great thanks to big heat losses in the freezing air. That's why many have switched to individual gas heaters, which offer better temperature control and lower energy use. Homes also have thick insulation, triple glazed windows, and other clever tricks to keep in the heat. Still, with the cold so unrelenting, keeping your place habitable is a full-time job, showing just how tough and creative Yakutsk residents can be. In this city, known for its intense chill, locals typically live in two kinds of homes: multi-story flats or standalone wooden houses. Because it can dip to minus 70 degrees Celsius, they've come up with various ways to keep warm. Older apartment buildings often rely on central heating, sending hot water through above-ground pipes to each unit. While it seems logical, a lot of heat escapes before reaching every apartment, especially if the insulation has seen better days or if there's a long distance to the boiler house. Folks closer to the heat source may be roasting, while neighbours farther away can't get cosy at all. Meanwhile, newer flats usually have individual gas heaters that let people manage their own indoor temperature and save on energy. These heaters do a better job of evenly warming the entire home, even during brutal cold spells. As for wooden houses, many are connected to government gas pipelines that deliver natural gas right to the doorstep. Paired with thick walls and tricks like ice insulation in winter, it's an impressive system that shows off local know-how. Yakutsk's heating setups really prove how resourceful you have to be to live in one of the coldest places on Earth. Of course, winter in Yakutsk is no joke. Temperatures can drop as far as minus 64 degrees Celsius, so staying warm is about survival, not just comfort. Most people live in either multi-story flats or wooden houses, each with different heating plans. Older flats built before 2010 use above-ground pipes for hot water, but a lot of heat escapes along the way and there's no way to dial the temperature up or down in individual units, leading to overheated or underheated apartments. All that for an average monthly bill of about $130 for a mid-sized flat. Newer apartments with individual gas heaters solve many of these problems. They allow precise temperature control and include thick walls, about 60 centimetres, triple glazed windows and other energy savers. Radiators can maintain a comfy plus 25 degrees Celsius indoors, even if it's minus 40 degrees Celsius outside, and the heating bill is surprisingly low, just $8 a month for around 120 cubic meters of gas. It's a clear sign of how Yakutsk residents innovate to handle one of the world's harshest climates. Wooden houses in Yakutsk take an equally creative approach. They're often built with Siberian larch beams, sealed with a natural filler called paklia to keep cold air out. During winter, people add another layer of insulation by mixing snow and water, then spreading it over the walls to form an extra layer of ice. Government-provided gas pipelines fuel heaters set to 60 degrees Celsius, pushing warmth through radiators throughout the house. Each room has its own radiator, and upstairs spaces benefit from the heat rising. The monthly cost runs about $65 to $80, striking a decent balance between comfort and budget. Controlling the temperature is crucial. Ceilings and walls generally stay around plus 20 degrees Celsius, but floors are colder because they're in direct contact with the frozen earth. Triple glazed windows help keep precious warmth inside, and many families keep both a fridge and freezer indoors so they don't have to venture into unheated areas just to grab groceries. It's a great example of the clever ways people adapt to the freezing environment here. Heating costs and efficiency really depend on your home's style and heating system. In newer flats, individual gas heaters are both the cheapest and most dependable solution, only $8 a month, with plenty of heat control. In older flats, central heating can cost around $130, yet you might end up too hot or too cold. Wooden houses, powered by government gas lines, cost $65 to $80 a month, but they offer the flexibility and custom setup many homeowners prefer. A lot of people think the North Pole must be the coldest spot on Earth. But when you compare it to Yakutsk, you'll find that the North Pole, sitting atop the Arctic Ocean, is actually more of a cold desert, with milder overall temperatures, despite the ice covering much of the sea year-round. Very few people actually live at or near the North Pole, aside from scientists who stay at research stations on drifting ice or explorers passing through on special expeditions. Meanwhile, Yakutsk is a bustling city with hundreds of thousands of residents who deal with harsh winters in a permanent settlement, not just for a few weeks or months of study. The North Pole's average winter temperatures often hover around minus 30 degrees Celsius or so, which is definitely freezing by most standards, but still falls short of the bone-chilling lows regularly experienced in Yakutsk. Temperatures in Yakutsk can drop to minus 64 degrees Celsius or below, lasting for months at a stretch. While the North Pole remains covered in sea ice and experiences long stretches of darkness, it doesn't support a large permanent population. Food and supplies come mostly by ship or plane, and people aren't expected to settle there for the long haul. On the other hand, Yakutsk has everyday amenities like schools, shops, and even cultural events, all operating in a place that stays frosty far longer than many can imagine. The city's infrastructure is built to handle these conditions year after year, and its heating systems reflect that commitment to surviving and thriving in a truly ruthless climate. In short, while the North Pole might grab headlines for its remote and icy setting, Yakutsk stands out for its massive population and far colder living environment, proving that human resilience can triumph even in the most extreme conditions. Living in such a frozen city obviously comes with hurdles. While newer buildings benefit from modern individual gas heaters, older places are stuck with less efficient, decades-old central heating. Heat escapes through exposed pipes and poor insulation, and no temperature controls mean major discomfort and big energy bills. However, there's optimism that older buildings could be updated with better insulation, individual heating units, or new technology built to withstand Yakutsk's intense climate. Those improvements could slash energy use, lower costs, and make life a lot more pleasant. We're curious about your situation. How do you heat your home? And what kind of temperature extremes do you deal with? Every place has its own quirks, from scorching summers to bone-chilling winters. Let us know your experiences in the comments. You never know who might pick up a life-changing tip from your story. And if you enjoyed this look into Yakutsk's chilly life, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Come along with us as we dive into more of the world's most challenging environments. Wherever you live, stay warm or cool and keep exploring.